you?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I am doing well, and I can say that not only did I love season one, but I loved season two. So thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
I'm curious because this show was not based on source material and no one knew who these characters would be or what to expect from them. The audience went into the first season with no expectations. So when did you realize how much of a success the show had become and that it was connecting with viewers globally?
I mean, that is just still wild to me that, all around the world, people are connecting and resonating and just absolutely, being big fans of Never Have I Ever, because the Never Have I Ever fandom is very real. But the biggest thing that shocks me is that how crazy it is. I can't, possibly process 40 million individual people. That's like a lot of people, right? So it's pretty awesome to just, hear all the, feedback from around the world, which I haven't even been around the world. I don't know many people that have done all those countries, but hey, it's really cool. The translate button on all social media apps is amazing.
There's something for everyone in this show. It's easy to find something to connect to or someone to connect with. What do you most connect to? Is it something directly related to your character, or is it one of the other characters?
Yeah. I think the thing I connect most with is Devi's story in relation to just her wanting to be, and this is more actually about season two, but her wanting to be this person that is good, even though she's really struggling and she's trying and it's not working out. Like, she's not trying to hurt people. That's something I definitely related to when I was younger. And now in general, just always trying to be perfect, whether it comes to work or being a perfect, family member, friend, having that pressure. And when it doesn't work out, you really overthink it. You freak out about it and you don't understand necessarily why things are happening. And you have a little meltdown at the end.
Devi is somebody who is full of rage. What's it like to find her emotional levels? Is it something that you're always playing with?
It's so fun to find her emotional levels. And when we film, we love to vary it up. I guarantee you, there are some takes of some scenes where Devi is hotter than you could even imagine. And then there's sometimes where she's just oh, okay, whatever. And I know in season one, there was a lot more rage throughout as Devi, but it was a little too much. So we were hey, Devi, you're here, take it down here right now, please. So it is fun to play around with those levels. And I'm so thankful for all the directors, writers, and of course, Mindy, Kaling, and Lang Fisher for always, letting me play around with those levels.
John McEnroe narrates Devi's life. If you could have any famous person narrate your life, who would you want it to be?
I would probably want, just for okay, obviously, hear me out. The relationship between McEnroe to Devi is because the common connection is the rage, right? When she rages, he gets fired up too, and they really get it. I think if I were to have someone, I also would want someone I know, right? Because they got to know me a little. I'd probably ask Mindy, because I think Mindy and I understand each other a lot. We're two very separate people with two different personalities, right? Just like John McEnroe and Devi. But we both understand, always wanting to go out and just seize the day and just always work hard, even when things might not work out our way. We just want to keep going and not take no for an answer. So I think that would be really cool. And also, Mindy is basically a mentor to me. So that would make sense. She would tell me Maitreyi, no, 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 stop, stop, stop. Yeah, I think that'd be really, really funny.
At the end of season one, it felt like Devi was picking Ben. And now in season two, she's back to not being sure who she wants to choose. What was your reaction to learning that she'd be dating them both this season?
I mean, is it bad to say I sort of predicted that? It's Devi. This is Devi. As John McEnroe says, this decision required very little thought. And she's a very smart girl in certain aspects. In other aspects, not so much. So, yeah, honestly, it was okay, all right, we're doing this. Let's see where this goes, and let's see how quickly Devi messes this up. Because, obviously, she's going to.
do you think that you would be more decisive in choosing one or the other than she is? Or do you feel like she sort of makes the right choice, at least in the beginning, to test out her options?
Test the waters. I don't even know, because I don't feel like I would be in that position where I had two guys like me or I like two guys. Like, I would probably just be in the position of no guys, no people, no people at all, anyone. Because love is dead, 2021.
Devi doesn't have a problem when it comes to kissing boys. It seems to more be, that she has a problem maintaining relationships with boys. So how do you view her love life this season? How do you approach those scenes? Is it fun to do those scenes?
It's so fun when it's like a scene with Darren or Jaren, because they're just great scene partners. But I like to remind myself that this is like a 15-year-old girl. Like, she's trying to figure out what she likes, right? So it sort of actually makes a lot of sense that she's 100% comfortable kissing these guys, but without any reflection as to like, oh, wait, like, maybe I should like think about what I'm doing. And I should just like kiss him instead. Maybe I should just like stop him and say, whoa, Ben, wait, I think we should break up. Like, imagine if she just, interjected in that conversation and just said, hey, Ben, really great that you broke up with Shira. Really great that you're eating with your parents now, but we got to break up. Or if she went to Paxton and just said like, no, you didn't show me a real date. You lost your chance, bud. Bye. Would have been cool. Would have made for a short season though. So here we are.
And she's a teenager, so there has to be drama.
Oh, of course. Yeah, of course. We love the drama.
Well, obviously anything spoilery, I would hold till it's no longer a spoiler. So I'm curious, that moment where Devi and Paxton walk into the dance holding hands after everything is such a huge moment for them.
Yes.
Is there also added pressure and responsibility of getting that exactly right for the show, just because so many fans are waiting for that kind of a moment?
Oh, 100%. I will say though, with that shot, I like when I watched like the screeners of season 2, what I thought was really cool, and I didn't notice it while reading all the scripts and filming it, was when obviously Devi blows up at Paxton and says like, I can't hold your hand forever. And then when she goes to apologize, Paxton says, I wouldn't want you to hold my hand. And like, they're like beefing and like, fighting about that. And it's like, ah, ha, ha. Joke's on you. Look at you two holding hands. I'm not Team Paxton, but I'm just saying, like, the irony is really funny. I love a good bit of irony. There is a little pressure that I want to make sure it's like perfect, but it's not that much, because the writers, the directors, the creative team, they've honestly got it all on lock. Like, the costumes, perfectly set. We got the hair and makeup. Everyone looks great. The writing is just nice and romantic yet funny. And the director's got the right, positioning. The DP's got the great lighting. Like, of course, the editing with sound with that song, Sam Smith's Love Goes On. That's probably my favorite from season 2. I listen to that on repeat a lot. But yeah, with all that combined, you're pretty set.
I love her dress too. I mean, was that something like, did you know exactly what her dress would be from the beginning, or did you have to try like a bunch of dresses on?
That was actually the only dress I tried on, and we just knew right away, like, that's the one. And the dress didn't have any, there's like those little crystals on it, so it sort of like shines with the light. Those crystals weren't on it, but thank you to the amazing costume team that we have on Never Have I Ever, because they, like, by hand, every single crystal on that dress just is by hand. And Salvador Perez, who's the head of the costume department, does a great job, honestly. Like, it was so cool to see like that dress come to life, because it was actually also a long dress, like a gown with a little train. But then we were like, okay, we're going to cut it. We're going to go for more of like the 60s kind of style. We'll put an underskirt to like poof it out. Like, we really just made it our own, which is really cool.
Were you surprised that Paxton finally made that big step? Was there conversation about, like, did you know going into the season how the season would end up? Or were you surprised when you found how that moment would play out?
Yeah. I mean, we read the scripts like as they come through, right? So we all take it little step by steps as we film. And it would make sense. Like I remember when we were filming the actual like scene of like that moment where like, she gets yeeted by the car, and we really do come full circle about that. We talked about the fact that Paxton now finally realizes that Devi is that person that believes in him, that doesn't think he's dumb, but also calls him out when he needs to be called out about the fact that he doesn't try. He needs to try harder. He needs to be better, and he's not pushing himself enough because he doesn't believe in himself. So I think with all that combined, and of course he was hurt by Devi's actions, when he realizes that, he gets the moment to sit down and realize like, oh, yeah, Devi's actually like there for me sometimes more than I am for myself, which is a little bit of a problem because you should really be there for yourself first and foremost. It makes sense why he does come eventually to the dance. Also, who doesn't like a good dance? That makes logical sense. He's 16. He's in high school. Like, go, live it up.
How do you think all of this will affect things moving forward for her? Have you thought about what any of this would mean for a season 3?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where we're going to take it because I have no idea what shenanigans Devi's going to get up to. I could not have predicted myself being in a cricket costume this season. And that was me doing that dance. No stunt doubles. But I have no idea where that's going to go. But I think it'll be really cool to see what Devi's like in a relationship, like a real relationship.
Did you bond with the cricket costume, or did you want to set?
God, I love that cricket costume so much. We have bonded with the sweat that came out of me while dancing in that because there were no fans. It was real hot.
It's like you either have to be all in or just want to completely destroy it.
Oh yeah, I went all in. Some people like on set were like, why didn't you get like a body double to do this? Like, what are you doing? And I'm like, no, I'm going to do this. And if anyone tells me after that that wasn't me, no way. No way. Yeah, it was like a whole thing. We had to like practice a lot. Myself, Ramona, and Lee for like their cheerleader bit. And we practiced first like just regular, no costumes, then with just the head on, and then with the whole thing. Yeah, step by step.
Do you have your own personal wish list of things you would still like to explore with her, to learn more about with her?
Yeah, I mean, she's like a 15-year-old kid that has the whole world in front of her. She's got a lot that she can explore. I think it'd be really cool to just, maybe see more of her interests, see more of like the journeys that she takes, or like the new people that she might meet. And, of course, everyone loves good relationship drama, but also the journeys that she takes with her friends. I think those are all really cool aspects that could happen.
You came to the show so new, learning about acting, about yourself, leading a TV show. How different did season 2 on the first day feel than when you walked onto set the first day of season 1?
Lots of masks. That's number one. Yeah. Lots of half faces. Yeah. And like, of course, with all the COVID protocols, which is the reason why we could film, it did make it a little different when it came to cast and crew bonding, right? Being able to talk to each other as often and just, enjoy each other's company. A big part of like, what makes set so great, and personally my favorite part of the day, is lunch, when we get to all just like sit and eat together, but we couldn't do that. So I would say that's probably the biggest difference.
Did you feel different? I mean, just as from an acting perspective, did it feel like you looked at it a different way now?
Oh, I mean, I'm a little like more confident with my skills. Like, smidge, just like Devi has grown up a smidge. I'm a little bit more confident that I'm not a trash actor. Yeah, that is definitely a difference from season 1 to 2, but it came with still nerves and pressure of like, okay, but you like really have to like nail it this season. You don't want to let anyone down.
Well, I appreciate you talking to me about it. You bring such heart to the show, and it's just so fun. So thank you.
Thank you. No, thank you.